up, really gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Wake up, today's gonna be a good day.
The world is wide. Let's make it closer. With smart planning and a touch of magic, Ash knows travel. Welcome to the future of travel. Hello, everyone, and welcome. My name is Ash, and welcome to my YouTube channel, Ash Knows Travel, where I share trainings, walkthrough, and insider tips to help travel advisors book smarter and build confidence. And tonight's live is a little extra special because it's my birthday live. Yes, your girl, your favorite trainer, has officially turned 33. But I wanted to just celebrate in a different way than normal, okay? Normally we do like a little party on Zoom or something like that. But tonight I'm sharing 10 travel agent lessons that have completely changed my business. The things that I just wish I had someone tell me a lot sooner. Just set the mindset shifts that are going to happen in your career, like the real life lessons that just kind of helped me grow, stay consistent, and just build this business that I am so proud of. So you already know the drill. If you are live here, go ahead and comment hello, okay, in the chat. And of course, if you happen to watch this on a replay, still drop by and say replay for me so that I know that you stopped by. All right, so let's go ahead and jump into these 10 travel agent lessons that have absolutely changed my business. Yes. And thank you all for hopping on tonight. I know we're getting out of that little holiday grind that we were in, and we got to step in now. We got to start working, getting ourselves together, because the new year is right upon us. And that's actually what we're going to be doing all of this week. So tomorrow we're going to be doing a live vision board party where we're going to build our own vision boards for next year. And then we're also going to be doing on January 1st how to create your AI twin at 5 p.m. PST. Now, that live is going to be a live only. I'm not going to do any side trainings or anything because there's a lot of you guys in one of me. So if you want to learn how to create your AI twin, make sure you hop on January 1st at 5 p.m. PST, because I'm going to give you the exact steps on what to do. And bring a pen and paper so you can take some notes, all right? So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? All right, so what this training is, all right, I just want to clarify what I'm trying to do here and what it isn't, okay? So these are just real lessons that I've kind of sat down and wrote together from my journey. It's just genuine experience. I don't want to ever come off as I'm someone who's just this huge overnight success story. That is not how I operate. I'm kind of always, I want to consider myself forever changing. That is something I've heard a lot in my life that's just kind of stuck out to me. I want to always be that person who evolves and who does better. So I don't ever think that I would just be considered a success story, because I want to always be even more successful than I already am. Okay. So this kind of training is going to be built for people who are just growth minded, who just want to change what they're doing now, and maybe just kind of look and see what maybe mistakes or things that you guys have gone through just like me. Okay. And one thing I want to say, that a lot of my trainings, if you haven't met me yet, maybe this is your first time seeing me, I'm always going to be focused on sustainability. I focus on systems. I focus on building things that are going to make my longevity for my career even more sustainable than before. I want to build a real true system. So if you see me and my teachings and my lessons, you're going to see that it's the success that I found. It's not on burnout. It's built on just a real foundation. All right. So that is really what I'm going to be talking about tonight, and kind of the lessons that I'm going over. But before I do that, I want to just kind of talk about my travel advisor journey to guys. I feel like I never talk about myself. I bring people on my channel, and We do Q&As, we do interviews and all of that, but you mostly work with me, right? So you need to know a little bit about me and how I operate, okay? I've been traveling for about almost 14 and a half years now. That's when I really started traveling and even planning travel. As soon as I turned 18, I was ready to get out of where I was. Like I was ready to explore and ready to go. So I had a lot of passion, but I didn't really ever know that you could sell travel. I had no idea that it's something that I could do remotely from my home. I didn't even know that it was able to be presented in this way, like as in being with the host agency. I've never heard of anything like that. This kind of fell into my lap. One of my husband's friends who was in Saudi Arabia actually went through a presentation and wanted to do this himself, but he wasn't in an eligible country. So he reached out to my husband and said, "Hey, I think your wife would probably be really good at this," because we had, met him over the time and he kind of get to know me. So I attended a presentation and then I had just signed up immediately. I completed my certificate immediately. I just recently found my old notebook from when I first started. I was a heavy note taker. I wrote down everything and now everything's digital, right? But I really, really locked in and I have done quite amazing things here. I've done Evo 200, built a wonderful team and amazing advisors that are still here today. I've built, just an entire business, an entire platform. And one of my favorite things that I've also done is a lot of bookings. I've found my true passion, which is adults only travel. It's kind of crazy how that's happened in the last few months, but it's done well. I have become more comfortable with being on camera. I've become like a foundation. I've shown my own kids like what you can do, even presented with different opportunities and how you can work them. Like I have done a lot of things in the 3 years, but one of my most favorite things that I have done is really just sat down and learned every single part about being a travel agent. I mean, I've done a ton of research. I've done classes. I mean, I've done pretty much everything that I could possibly think of, getting certified here or there, whatever. But and taking that, what I've learned, and then being able to put it in a place where I could teach you guys, I think that's probably been one of my biggest accomplishments, is that I'm able to help other people be successful, even regardless if you're, underneath me or not, or you're just working alongside of me. I love that I'm able to have this platform that I've created and kind of built, and I'm able to help people regardless. If they want to travel, I can help them. If they want to sell travel, I can help them. I can mentor them, right? With the foundation I've created. And even the other people who are just working along my team, I can help them. And I think that's kind of my like love language. Learned a lot about that lately. And just what I like to do is that, I kind of just like to give back to you guys, because I know what it's like to not have that, kind of nurturing. I realize that I'm very blessed with my mentoring and, who's my upline and all of that. But I realize a lot of you guys didn't have that. So I really just started all of this with the most purest intentions of just being able to help you guys. So I appreciate all the support and love that you guys have shown me with that. But at the bottom, I want you to really see in my travel advisor journey is that I'm always still learning, I'm always still growing, and I'm always still showing up. So I always kind of come to you guys at a place of love. Like I'm not your mentor unless I am, obviously, but I'm not directly as a mentor. I am, the same as you guys. I'm learning, I'm growing, but I just have a little bit more experience and I have a little bit of more of this and that. So I always just want to come to you guys as like, equal. I just on the same team and we're all just here to learn and grow and be forever changing. Yeah. So let's go ahead and talk about why I'm sharing this today. Okay. First of all, it's my birthday, and my birthday, I don't really do like big parties or anything. I feel like my birthday is just my way of being able to just kind of sit down and reminisce on what happened this year and how the amazing things I've accomplished, the things I've let go, the things I've learned. And you guys probably do the same on your birthday. All right. But I consider my birthday as a day of clarity. I actually just sit down and just think of all the cool things I've done and what I want to do for next year. And as you get older, maybe you're not as old as me, maybe you're watching this and you're younger, okay? You really start defining your years on what you've accomplished. So I feel like this was a very, very accomplishing year for me. So I'm very proud. But these lessons that I'm about to show you, they were earned, not overnight either. And I hope that it helps one of you guys just move faster than, and if you maybe have watched this and you're like, okay, I want to, share this with other people, please do, because it might help them learn something that you might take us way longer than it had to. But everything I teach tonight is going to be coming from experience and not theories. This is all what I went through as a travel advisor. Okay. Lesson number 1. Booking travel is the easiest part. Yes. The one thing that a lot of travel agents, when they first start out, is they get really focused on the fact that they don't know the systems. They always are like, oh, well, I have to sit down and play around with this. I have to learn this. No, booking travel, like the actual booking of the travel, is the easiest part. Okay. The actual system that lies outside of that, which is getting the clients, keeping them as loyal clients, all of that is the actual, I would not say the hard part, but it's the part that we actually have to sit down and learn. If you've booked on Expedia, you can do this. You can always learn how to book on a system. And if you don't know, guess what? You can call them. You can call them and tell them, hey, I need help with this booking. Can you tell me how much the price is? Like whatever it is. You guys have those resources, right? So the biggest lesson I have, the first one, is that booking travel is the easiest. If you are watching this and you're like hung on that, I'm fear of not knowing what to do, just do it anyways. Okay. But along with booking that travel, you guys have to learn a lot about communication that builds trust. Your clients, they're not just buying trips, they're buying confidence. And I feel like in the 3 years, I've felt so much confidence, but that was always one of the biggest parts that hurt me when I first started was I was afraid to communicate. I was afraid to reach out to other people. I didn't want the fear. Oh, no, I didn't want rejection, right? Like, have you guys ever went through that? I feel like a lot of us are afraid to fail, and that's kind of what hinders us. And that was the first layer for me, was the communication, right? And with that, I've created a system to follow up with people, and that as well. I've also really worked on my client experience. You guys can probably see that I teach a lot about the client experience. Yes. I am really, really kind of into the fact that as travel advisors, we shouldn't be just booking trips. Like, we need to do the entire package, and that client experience is what drives that. So, in my lessons of booking travel, is the easy part, is the fact of the matter is that once you can book one thing, you're good on that. Like, you don't have to spend a lot of time on that. Spend a lot more time on setting up a foundation so that when the bookings start coming in, you have the time to focus on how to book that travel and not worry about sending out that email or talking to the client or asking them questions or following up with them, because you already built the foundation for that. Like, if I could go back, the first thing I would have done before rushing out there is just set up that foundation. So when I got the clientele, I was ready for it. Now, number 2, this one's a really hard lesson. Not every lead is your client. Yeah. This was one of the hardest things that kind of hit me at first, because I used to take it personal. I used to feel like, oh, they didn't book with me because it's me, which you probably all have been there. But that's not it. Like, I really had to step back and realize that people were human, and sometimes it just wasn't meant to be. And sometimes we might want to admit to it, but that lead not booking with you is kind of a blessing, because they might have been a really bad client, right? Like, things happen for a reason. And I feel like once we sit down and go, hey, if this is meant to be, this is meant to be, great. If it's not, I'm going to keep it moving. Like, that completely changes your business. Like, that is, like, I had to really kind of sit down and learn my value, like my value as an agent, as, my value as a mom, right? As a businesswoman, like all of that. I had to sit there and learn what was important to me and then prioritize that, right? The biggest one is right there right in your face. Time is a business asset. I realized that my time is worth more in terms of like money wise. Like, the more time I have, the more time I have to make money, because I'm a Capricorn. Okay. If you haven't figured that out, like I had to stop and be like, okay, this time I'm giving to it is not working for me. Like, this isn't being profitable. I need to switch up and try something else to make it more profitable. And did it take a lot of changing? Absolutely. Right. But you're not going to find that time if you don't have the ability to let go of a client that's not supposed to be your client. Like, you have to figure out which leads work, but you could easily qualify them to figure that out, right? Another thing, boundaries. I had to set a lot of boundaries, and that goes even beyond the lead is your client. It goes way further beyond that. I had to learn how to say no to things that no longer served me. And even when it comes to clients and leads, I had to learn how to say, okay, if I could tell that you're price checking, I'm not Expedia, right? We're not here to price check. Like, I have to be like, nope, this isn't, like, are you checking other prices? Like, what have you found? Like, I have to really get in there and just set that expectation that, look, I'm here to service you, but you're not going to use me to price check either, right? And then quality clients beat quantity of quotes. I completely agree with this. So just recently I have went like severely viral on TikTok, and I've gotten a lot of inquiries. But just because I have a lot of inquiries doesn't mean I'm going to have a lot of bookings, because you have to really kind of just go through them and see what's actually worth booking. And there's some of them that, and that immediately booked, we're good for, there's some I had to talk to, there's some I had to qualify, there's some that I had to really see if they were interested, right? But I had to learn that just because I have a lot of inquiries doesn't mean I'm going to get a lot of bookings. It doesn't mean that they're all going to book regardless, or how that works, right? Like, there's just a lot of, I want really good clients. So I listen to what they're saying. I try to figure out if they've traveled before. I've tried to see what other types of travel they're interested in. Like, I want a really good client that, like, that fits my niche, that fits my type of service. So I had to sit down and realize that not every client's for me, and that's okay, right? I still get great bookings, but I would rather have quality bookings than over a mass amount of bookings that aren't going to make me any money, right? Can we all agree on that? All right, lesson 3. Visibility beats perfection. Oh, man, I used to worry so much about how I looked on. I built a faceless TikTok channel. I ran it for 2 years. It was monetized. It did great. But I realized that I worried so much about being perfect that I put myself in a box. For a good 2 years, I put myself in a box. And then when I started showing my face, it actually set the precedent on what my niche should have been. The moment I started showing my face, travel became a lot more clear, and it was a lot easier to talk about. And it built a lot of the foundation that I have. Okay. Now, if you're not comfortable with that, that's okay. But don't be so close-minded that you don't ever want to get comfortable with it. Like, start off slow, build with voices. Once you start building your voices, then you want to show your face, right? And I'm teaching you guys how to make an AI twin on the first, so you can just do it that way too. Okay. Like what I'm trying to tell you is that you always need to be visible. I've learned regardless. That's why I do all of the automated planning on my channels. That's why I don't sit there and try to do everything in the same day. Like, I'm trying to be visible no matter where you go. I want you to see me. So I'm always posting something. I'm always, building a system to constantly post something. Like, I always want to be present. And what does that do? It shows consistency. And I'm showing consistency on platforms. That's how you go viral. Not every post goes viral, but if you consistently post, a few of those are going to go viral. So keep going, right? That consistency is what's building that momentum. And it took a long time for me to learn that, because I would break my own heart. I would post and it would flop, and I would be like, oh my God, it didn't work. Maybe it didn't work right now, but give it time, let it build. People, even if they go to your channel and see your viral posts, they look at other videos. So that consistency of you posting is still going to help you regardless if it went viral, right? So showing up regularly, even imperfectly, you don't have to be perfect to be. I've seen people go live in their pajamas in their bathrooms, right? Like, if that's what they want to do, that's what they want to do. That's perfectly fine. So just show up just like they did, right? But that showing up creates the compound effect that drives real business growth. If they can see you, they can book with you. If they don't see you, they don't know who you are. Okay. Messy action creates clarity. So if you don't find your voice by thinking about it, you have to find it by putting it out there, and you're going to get better. Okay. Don't scroll all the way down, but if you go back to my original TikToks and go back to TikToks I make now, like, they're different, right? But I grew into it and I got better at it. So confidence grows after you start. So if you're one of those people, you're watching this and you're like, I kind of want to show my face. I don't know. I'm nervous, or I kind of want to cover this, but I don't know how it works. Like, this is your sign. Okay. Like, don't hold yourself in a box. just start doing it, and you're going to be a little messy at first, but you'll get better at it and you'll grow. And then you'll have those viral posts that everybody else is talking about. You can't go viral if you don't post. That's it. All right. Next, the algorithm isn't against you. Man, how many of us ever felt this way? I feel like this was a really hard lesson for me. I teach it in I have a whole training on how the algorithm isn't against you, because once I realized it, I was like, oh, it's not against me. It just doesn't know what to do with me. Like, it's my fault that it's not working. Like, that was a really big lesson, and it changed. Everything changed. Once I started niching down completely, like, then I was like, oh, this is easy. I'm just doing it wrong. That's it. Okay. That consistency, though, with the niching down, that came from me constantly posting and seeing what works. I have one viral post for adults only travel, and it still goes viral today. It still goes viral today. And that once I sat down and I looked at all my posts, and I was like, well, what kind of type of travel should I really talk about? And I looked at the one that went the most viral. Okay, that's it. There we go. I didn't know that, though, until I was consistently posting and trying out different things, and then one of them stuck. I never got that way until I started talking about it, right? It rewards consistency. It rewards clarity. That clarity is niching down. The further you niche down, it's going to reward you. And then this part right here, most people quit too soon. When I got monetized on YouTube, I was about to quit. I was about to be like, it's not working. It's taking too long. I don't know. I'll just keep posting. We'll see what happens, right? Boom. Now I've gotten almost $300 check from them for this month. But the month isn't over yet, so it should be about 300 hopefully. So that's like something that I like to talk about, because that is something that I've done in my travel advisor journey. But it didn't happen because I stopped. Okay, it took me almost 7 months. Technically like 5 to 6 months that I've already built a foundation, and then I went viral to pushing it, then monetization. It took about 6 months for me to do that. Okay. I didn't get rewarded at first. It took a lot of different works and different postings and different topics and seeing what works and niching down. You guys could do that on all of the other platforms too. Like to even a point where you're doing travel inquiries. I showed you guys that on my Travel with Ashwood, right? That one took a lot of clarity. That one took a lot of different posts. I had to try to see what works, what I was comfortable with, what I learned, right? All of these things that you guys see happening in year 3 were because I started doing that in year 1. Like, people quit too soon because they want to see instant results. You can never get instant results from social media. You just can't. You have to keep showing up and you have to keep posting. And just when you think, oh, I'm done with this, that's when it happens. So just being honest with you, that's when it happens. All right. Number 5, lesson 5. All right, so this one's pretty good. Niching down changes everything. That's a lesson that I learned this year. I realized that, and I'm going to explain this to you, okay? You guys can read that stuff if you want. I already know what I want to say. So with the algorithms, one of the hardest things that we have to understand is that it's trying to show us to the right people. Like, its goal is to make sure it gets the most visibility. But if you guys are constantly posting about different things, it doesn't know what to do with you. Like, I used to do this. Oh, here's a Europe tour. And the algorithm go, okay, great. We'll show you to people who will like Europe tours. Okay, cool, right? I get a lot of views. Oh, it's doing great. Okay, now here's a cruise that's for the Caribbean. Oh, okay, we'll show you to people who like to go to the Caribbean. Cool. All right, now that one's did a little bit less because it's kind of still showing me to the Europe people, and it's kind of confusing them, so they don't want to see that. So then I go back over and, all right, now this is how to be a travel agent. Now the algorithm goes, whoa, what? Now I got to show you to travel agents or people who are interested in selling travel. All right, let's pull that back over there. That video flops. And then we have this another one, right? Like, that is what my problem was. And I used to get so mad. I think, oh, the algorithm hates me. This app doesn't work. I'm done with TikTok. No, I was confusing them, right? So I had to niche down, and niching down changed everything. Clarity, when they can see constantly what you're talking about, that's why they keep getting those mass amount of views, because it's going, oh, she's talking about the same thing again. Here, let's just show her to more people. Cool. She posted about the same thing again. Here's different people that are interested in that too. Like, that clarity is what's attracting that algorithm and the clients. The authority in that, like, if you look at my post, like, one of them will be like, the top resorts that people book. And then the second one will be like, this is the resort that's for you. Like, I'm building authority by telling them what's for them. Then I go like answering questions, and then I make up the questions. Like, this is what people are asking about adults only, right? Like, that type of authority is pushing me as the person who knows things, the expert, which is making them grow faster because they're following me because they think I'm going to post more, right? And then I want to throw this out here because the people always get this confused. Because you're marketing one niche, that doesn't mean you can't book everything. You're still a travel agent. So I still like, even if they only book adults only, those people travel too. So they're going to book again. Like, they refer you to other people because you handle their trips. Like it still doesn't mean that I can only book one thing. No. But if you don't have one focus on what you're talking about, they don't know what to do with you or who to show you to. So do that, take it as you will. Okay. But when I niched down and really started focusing on one type of travel, changed everything. All right, number 6, systems create freedom. Woo. Y'all know me. Your favorite counselor loves a beautiful system, and I teach a lot about systems. I have a system when I get leads. I have a system to track where those leads come from. I have a system to welcome on new clients. I have a system to welcome on inquiries. I even have a system to talk to clients while they're traveling. I have a system for the follow up for when they come home, all of it. And I built all of these over time. Okay. But what I've learned is, and I've done a lot of just building the systems this year. So it kind of took a lot out of me to build them. But now that automation, I don't have any kind of burnout. I don't feel like I don't want to show up. I feel like I'm excited to show up because I always have something new that I can work on because I built the systems that now automatically go into play. Okay. The main thing that it does for me, because I have really bad ADHD, is that it replaces that memory that I have to hold on to do something. I have a really, really bad ability to remember things because I have 6 kids. I have this business. I have my husband. I love him, but that's the thing. That's a whole job. And then being a wife, being a mother, being the chef, being the cleaner, being the take to soccer practice. Like, there's a lot of things for me to remember, right? This can't be one of them. This, like, if you want to change how you book travel, take rid of the systems because you don't have time to remember that. You've got too many other things that you're trying to do to worry about this, right? So that system created freedom, and that was a big lesson for me. Number 7, confidence impacts income. This was a really big thing for me. I was really unsure when I first started because I booked my own travel. But when you start taking care of other people's travel, like, I had to sit down and realize that they're investing in me to take care of them, right? So that I had to set a whole different kind of tone of how I talk to them. I'm confident. I know what I'm talking about. I don't have hesitation. And if I do, I just chat GPT it. Like I had to kind of just build into the I know what I'm doing, right? Like, you guys obviously can tell by the way I talk that I have confidence, and that's partially why you guys show up, is because I know exactly what I'm talking about. But if I was in this kind of training and I'm just like, yeah, you could do this or you could do this. I don't know, maybe you could try that. Like you wouldn't want to learn from that person, right? You want to learn from a person that's like, no, this is exactly how you do it, and this is why I know. Like, that's what I'm talking about. It goes the same way when you're booking travel. You're not going to book travel with somebody who's unsure, who's posting just different things and they don't know what they're talking about. Like you're not going to work with that person, right? So my confidence is always, I know exactly what I'm talking about. And if I don't know what I'm talking about, I can find the answer. I'm not worried about that, right? And that is something that I've built over time. And one of the biggest lessons that I've learned is, if I would have handled this situation differently, I could have got the booking. Okay. I've had situations where I've kind of ended up talking myself out of a booking because I wasn't confident. So make sure that you can very definitely sit down and just learn how to be confident. If anything, you could talk yourself into many different cells and then worry about the booking later. Right. So number 8, education is a revenue tool. You guys love to go get certified and everything. And I love that, okay? And you guys love to train. And I know I do a lot of trainings, and I've even reduced my trainings for next month. I'm doing only Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. PST. But the trainings that I'm doing are high impact trainings. So I feel like I would rather give you very good quality than a bunch of different trainings, right? So we're learning about very important stuff like your AI twin on the first. That's a big deal, right? I'm also teaching you guys how to build a website and a funnel. That's a big deal. But that's not something that I want to do Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. That's just going to overwhelm me. So what I'm trying to get to is that when I'm teaching you things, I'm teaching it for you to take it. I don't want you to learn all of it. If it's not right now, fine. But I want you to take it and I want you to use it to make money. That's the whole thing that you guys are missing when it comes to learning. You guys want to attend all these trainings, but you're not implementing what you're learning. So it's just kind of like wasting the time of the training. Okay, great. You're trained. Now, what do you do with that? Okay, take it and use it. Okay. So every time you attend a training, write down something that you're going to take from it and use. And I do that every time I take notes in a training. What did I learn from this? What am I going to use from this? Right. And sometimes like trainings like this, you're just learning small things of, okay, this is what I need to do next time. That's fine. Right. But that kind of growth that you guys are seeing with everybody else is because they're acting upon it. They're following that action. Like I think back to, I don't team build as much. And that's honestly because I'm trying to get all of these systems in order. And now that I have them, I think I'll go back to more team building. But I realize like the only way that you can actually team build is if you actually team build. Like you have to actively do so, right? And I'm always kind of circling back to travel booking. So I feel like that was a lot of my focus for the year. But I realized if I wanted it to work, I had to make it work. Like that was probably one of the biggest things. And we'll talk about that in a few minutes. But like if I wanted to be a team builder, I actually had to be a team builder. And I've done it. I've gotten all the way up to Evo 200. I almost got to platinum. I was like 20 away from platinum. So I've been there, I've done that, right? But I realized if I wanted to consistently do it, I had to keep doing it. It works the same with travel. Like that's probably one of the most prettiest, most beautiful parts about being in the travel industry is that we have so many different ways we can make income, right? But in order to make that income, yes, you have to learn about it, but then you have to take what you learn and turn it into a tool that you can make into income, whether that's booking travel, whether that's getting monetized, whether that's finding your niche, whether that's team building, no matter what it is, however you want to take this in the travel industry. If you don't learn this part right here and take it to a tool, you're just learning things. You're not doing anything with it. Okay. And I can tell. I can tell when you implement my trainings and I can tell when you just watch them. You know that? I've been a mentor long enough that I can tell when you're actually doing what you do. I can tell by the questions that you ask me. I can tell by what you're posting on your Facebook, etc. So if you come to me, okay, you guys, I know some of you guys send me messages, right? If you come to me and you're like, okay, why isn't this working? I'm about to give it to you like Simon Cowell. Okay, we're about to go. What was his show that he was on? Oh man, I forgot the singing show. Okay, that's what it's about to be because I don't have time to, like I don't mentor most of you, so I don't have to sugarcoat it for you. Okay, I taught you how to do this, but you're not doing it, right? Like that's the reality of it. Like that's the part that you guys have to kind of just sit down and learn from yourself. And that was me. I had to learn that. I was like, okay, I've learned all of this, but I'm not doing it. That I'm wasting my time. What have I learned that I can actually put into place? That's when I started making money. That's it. Like when I started getting my travel right, where I could start getting inquiries. Okay, how can I take the information that I've learned about adults only travel and put it into money? Education. Here we go. Boom. There it is. Listen. That's a great lesson. All right. Lesson number 9. Community changes the journey. The more you tap into the people around you, the more that you are committed to the team around you, the more successful you are. And I don't sit there and mean like do a bunch of tasks for the team. That's not what I'm saying. I mean like interact with them. The more you guys work together, the more you just kind of collaborate, learn from each other, kind of like what you guys do with me, right? Like the more you guys do that, the better you are. Okay. That support is what's accelerating your growth because you have a team that's beside you when you're working, right? You can borrow the confidence when you need it. You don't have to grow alone. We are all getting better at doing things as we grow, right? And accountability. When you see other people posting, you get that, oh crap, I didn't do it. You know what? If Heather can go live every day, yeah, Heather, I know you're here. If Heather can go live every day, why can't I go live every day? Right? Like if Emily can figure out how to do the board, why can't I figure out how to do the board? Like that's how my mindset was when I started doing that live and I kept saw everybody's board. And man, Emily had a nice one too. And I was like, man, why can't I do that? Then I just asked. We have a community. I just asked. I said, hey, how do you do that on TikTok with those fancy stuff on the top? Boom, easy. Here's how you do it, right? Like you have to build that community, okay? Get surrounded by your people, find your people, whoever those are. But that type of support, it's you want to do better. You want to grow with these people. You want to learn more because they're learning more. Like that wisdom, okay, that you're sharing, that's what saves you time. And that's what kind of just helps you be a better travel agent because you're willing to do different things. You're willing to grow and you're willing to communicate. Okay. So get with the community, find one that's yours, right? And it'll change your journey. Now, number 10, staying power wins. Okay. Now, that probably sounds weird, but staying is what's powering the winning. Yeah. Okay. I know it sounds weird, but that's the best way I could say it to you. Most people quit before the momentum hits, especially when they first become travel agents because they expect instant results. But that consistency is something that's built over time. And that's what makes you a successful travel agent. Okay. And honestly, even those people that pop off and they start got bookings right away and you see them, you're like, oh, yeah, that's great. Okay. They might have that first setup, but they got to hold on to that longevity of staying in order to make this actually work. Okay. Now, I say that with because I was going to tell you guys something. Education, implementation, like there's just something that I wanted to throw in there. Like when you guys are learning things, I want you to understand that it's supposed to be like a building tool, okay? I had to go through many different things that shifted my like kind of travel advisor journey. Like everything always wasn't rainbows and butterflies. There were days where I was just like, oh, I'm done with this. Like there was days where I would go to my husband and just be like, I don't want to do this anymore. And he always would be the most supportive. Then be like, okay, fine, don't. And then it was like but no, I've already built already into this. Wait, no, I've already done too much. I can't stop this, right? Like those moments, they happen. But the fact that I've stayed and the fact that I keep staying and I keep showing up, that's why I'm winning. That's why things are changing for me. That's why it's growing. Because when something doesn't work, I might leave it for a little bit, but I come back to it and I try it again. And then I fix it and then I master it. And then I go, okay, now I got to go try something else, right? Like that changing, my forever changing. Yeah, that's kind of my theme for the next year. I'm going to put that on my vision board when we build that. But the forever changing part is what I've always wanted to master. I want to be better. I want to be a better booker. I want to be a better team builder. I want to be a better marketer. I want to be a better content creator. I want to get monetized here and there. Like that staying, that drive that I had to build within myself is why it's happening. Okay. I don't want you guys to ever think that you could just show up right then and there and it's just going to pop off and be great. No, that's not how this works. Okay. That isn't how foundations are built. Those people that you see that have those millions of dollars, they built a foundation first and then they built off of that foundation. They didn't just wake up unless they were born into it. And even then, somebody had to build that foundation, right? You guys have to think about every day that you're doing this, you're building more into your foundation. You're becoming a better travel agent. You are shaping that future that might not be visible right now, but that doesn't mean it will always be the way it is. Okay. When I started this, I signed up and I didn't have the money to sign up. I just was like, yeah, okay, here, let's just try it. Right. My husband, he was still trying to become an engineer, so we didn't have anything. I started from scratch. I started and we just moved to Houston. I didn't have any friends or family around me. And the people that were like where I was from, they didn't have a lot of money. So I had to build from scratch. I wasn't one of those like, oh, I just became a travel agent, got bookings. No, nope, nope, nope. I had to build from scratch. I had to go out online because I couldn't go out from my home because I had too many kids. And then, we were sharing a car. Like there was just so many different things that I had going on against me, but I still showed up. Like there were so many just moments where I could have just given up, but I didn't, and I'm a Capricorn. Okay. And when I see something that doesn't work for me, I stop. Like I'm a person that I'm like, yeah, nope, I'm stopping. That's it. I don't want to do this anymore. I'm going to find something else. But then I realized I always put myself in my own box because I would stop things right before they were about to take off. So I told myself, nope, I'm just going to give this a year. And then it worked. And then I was like, you know what? I'll give it another year. It worked pretty well. Let's try it again. And then it worked more. And then it worked more. Right. And like now I'm almost to 4 years and here I am. Right. So what I want you guys to see this and just think, if I could sum it up just real quick, that this business resort rewards people who take action. Okay. All of these ideas that you guys have, you guys send me them. I love them, but they won't build your business. You have to take those ideas and actually implement them. And even if it's not perfect, okay, it's what drives those real results. If you go back to the first AI commercial I ever made, oh, it was bad. But if we go to the ones now, I can make them look exactly like them, like to the T. Y'all saw that commercial, right? That is something that I had to learn. That's something I had to grow. And now I can teach it because I learned it, right? That type of growth comes from showing up and constantly getting better. Consistency is always going to be the common thread for every success story. Can we all agree with that, right? But the part is that you guys want to stop showing up because it got hard. Because it got hard because you're doing better. Like you won't notice anybody like that's doing better that won't have any kind of like, how can I say, like objections or things that have come against them, right? That's not how this works. This works because they kept showing up even when it was hard. All right. One thing I always want to say this too. There's no secret formula to being the best travel agent. Okay. There's not one path that you can take that's going to just build you automatic success. You have to build your own path. And that success comes from showing up every single time, right? And it's something that can ever be gifted. Even I don't care if you see somebody one of the top travel bookers, and yeah, they may have like there's some people that pay to join BNIs, right? And they get a lot of clients. And then people I hear them all the time, well, yeah, they get clients because they're in a BNI. Yeah, but they had to pay to be there and they had to earn that money from somewhere else that helped gifted them to the next part. So maybe it was gifted, but they gifted it themselves, right? Like everybody has a different opportunity, it has a different chance. And even for somebody who didn't have one, like I built that opportunity. I built this from ground up. Okay. I was just a mom to 4 kids when I started. I had a 4-month-old when I started, and I still showed up. I still presented. I still learned. I still grew. So you guys don't have no excuses. Okay. We're all given different opportunities, but we have to learn how to take those opportunities and use them to be better people. That's it. Okay. So final birthday thought. Okay. I'm another year wiser, another year stronger, and another year committed to growth. And I just want to take a minute to say thank you because it's the end of the year. So thank you guys so much for those who are attending. You guys inspire me to do better. You guys inspire me to grow. And I'm always honored to share these lessons and all of my trainings with you guys. I don't like the gatekeep. So I'm really honored that I'm given this platform to kind of do that with you. And I highly recommend, okay, staying plugged in. Yeah. I have a lot of great things coming up. We have January, we have Tuesdays and Thursdays at 5 p.m. I've got Create Your AI Twin right here. Okay, try to zoom this in more. Yeah. Nope, that's as far as I can go. That's fine. But January 1st, we're going to do the AI Twin. I have the Tuesday after that. I'm also doing corporate trainings, but they'll be on the Fridays. I have a flyer coming for that. But easiest way to build a site or funnel using AI to create faceless content, how to run travel agent business successfully, use Agent Universe Profiler to get leads in your area. Yeah. Top creation secrets, how to niche down completely so you guys can go viral. 10 easiest way to get clients, and then create your own travel agent command center. One of my biggest systems. I have a whole command center that I'll teach you about. Okay. So I have a lot of different cool things happening next month. So make sure you guys, of course, stay plugged in and get ready to learn with me. Yes. But yeah, that's all I really have for you guys tonight. So I'm going to head over to the studio to read all of your comments and just kind of chat with you guys there. But I just want to thank you guys so much for hopping on, and I hope you all have a beautiful, beautiful night. And I will see you guys tomorrow where we are doing a vision board party for the next year. Yes. So let me head over to my studio now, and I will see you guys in the chat box. It will be populated. You guys can comment there. Make sure you like this video before you hop off and share some love to it, okay? And I will see you guys in the chat box.
Step 1, wake up early, gonna rise with the sun. Step 2, get some good, some food in you. Step 3, think real hard about what you wanna be. Step 4, everybody just do your thing.
Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 Yo, set your affirmations, aspirations. I got shit to do, the aftermath of preparation. Good food, good mood, blood in circulation. One step at a time, yeah, that's how you make it. Set a goal you control and the steps you take them. I try to pick one thought, have some concentration. And if I make a mistake, it's called education. I try to do this every day, call it replication. Wake up, today's gonna be a good day. 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 So life ain't easy, yo, I think there's a reason though. Ups and downs, just like every different season, yo. Sometimes I'm high, other times I'm barely breathing, though. I always gotta fight and hide from the demons, yo. Negative thoughts are poison, they rot. Head full of flies, so here come the clouds. They'll never stop unless I can swap all the bad for the good in my head when I'm lost. Yeah, so I'ma fake it till I make it. Positive thoughts are overtaken, I got patience. One day at a time, it's how you operate a cadence. A flow, you grow, you show yourself a foundation. Stay away from all the shit that causes temptation. I know that I like to do it cause it's sensation. I live my life in my head like a narration. Don't expect greatness, do my best, man, I'll take it. Wake up,